Hey, this is Nazarek. Here's my quick takes in Conquest for Sector 5. Let's take a look. Just a quick disclaimer. I'm pulling a lot of my ideas from content creators, such as the Godfather himself, Mr. Bit Dynasty, the Kings of Cheese, Tripolix and Skeltrix, and the Queen Strategist, Celiac Sarah. If you want to see actual footage and breakdown, check out my listings of solutions in the description fields below. Alright, Sector 5. Final stretch here, so let's take a look at the feats. So you have the 4 feats, which are Force Tranquility, ability block 60 times, Fleet-footed, which means you have to at least evade 100 attacks in battles that you've won. That's important. The Guild, defeat 50 enemies with Bounty Hunter units, and then Blinding Assault, which is inflict blind 60 times. So this one wasn't as straightforward as the other ones. I had to be creative, I had to use different teams, and to start out with, I tried to grind through the bounty hunter kills as I worked my way through the sectors. I would put a light side bounty hunter and I would hide them behind a Jedi Master Luke lead type of team. So normally I would go like Jedi Master Luke, Watts, Jedi Master Yoda, Old Ben, and then I used Greef Karga as my light side bounty hunter because Greef Karga had stealth and was also able to cleanse should I need that. The reason why I use that particular squad other than just the bounty hunter is because Jedi Master Luke gave ability block, so does Old Ben, so you're working on that ability block feat at the same time. So Grandmaster Yoda gives out foresight, so it allows you to have a chance to evade. So you're working on 3 feats at the same time. You're working on the bounty hunter kills, you're working on the ability block, and then you're also working on the evade. The ability block is going to be grinded pretty quickly with that squad as long as you're able to use it, just because Jedi Master Luke is an AoE ability block and so is Old Ben. So you might be able to switch those out. I wasn't able to just go from the beginning to the end with that squad. You just have to switch up the squad. I mean, if I ran into something like Malak, then I had to go and use my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren squad. Or if there was a nest, I had to go and bring in something with an insta-kill. So use it as much as you can. There are a couple of choke points that you can go and grind on. So for instance, with the bounty hunter, once you get to the mini boss, then there you can go and start going with a heavier set bounty hunter squad. Also, the final boss is good for farming bounty hunters. The ability block, we've already talked about that. That's going to come with that squad pretty easily. But if you go into your bounty hunters, you can use Boba, and that's going to also give you another AoE ability block. As for the evasion feats, I kind of picked them up along the way, mainly because I had Grandmaster Yoda in a lot of my teams. When I started finishing up my ability blocks, then Hermit Yoda was being put in the team, so I had more foresight. So a lot of teams with foresights in there. So by the time I got to the end of the sector, I had most of my evasions already finished. I didn't really need to do anything more. But if you take a look at Skeltrix, he has a solution where he recommended going into the mini boss, and he ran a squad with Qui-Gon Jinn in the lead because that gave up foresight to all the Jedi right off the break. Then put in Grandmaster Yoda, and he threw in some other Jedi to go and be able to win the feat. Or he also recommended going to the final boss and using Jedi Knight Revan type of squad with, again, using Grandmaster Yoda, Hermit Yoda, Old Ben, and General Kenobi, and just farming it that way. So just looking for teams that give you foresight, but more importantly also gives you the win afterwards. So for the Blinding Assault feat, you can use a Commander Luke Skywalker led Rebel squad and do the Threepio ability that does the mass blind along the way. But when it gets down to just wanting to farm that particular feat or cheesing it, go to this Datacron node here. And this was on one of Bit Dynasty's videos. You can go and cheese this one by using a squad such as Jedi Knight Luke as the lead, Mission, Malak, Threepio, and Darth Malgus. And that squad works if you have a voluntary Vanguard data disk. Jedi Knight Luke does a single blind, so does Mission. Threepio does the mass blind, and then Darth Malgus also does a single blind. But if you don't have the voluntary Vanguard disk, I found that if you can take out one of those, probably Malgus if you don't have them from previous Conquest, but you could do Mission, and just throw in Watt and use Watt's tank tech and throw that onto Malak, and that works as well. Okay, and as for the mini bosses here, so there's the feat, this party's over, win with Mace Surviving. That particular one, that's another Jedi. You could use Jedi Master Luke lead, Jedi Squad, put him in there. Jedi Master Luke is going to get the taunt. You could run it that way. So for Hokey Religions on this mini boss here, I use the Bounty Hunters Bosk-led squad. Bosk, Django, Boba, Greef, and Mando. I did use some consumables because I did this feat after I did the final boss, and one of them was tenacity and also protection up. So I had that running. That might have played a big factor in there. If you need the extra protection, you can always bring Bam in there, so he can use the child ability, Grogu, and give somebody protection there. You could also throw in Cad Bane. Cad Bane is going to be a support, and if you have the Zealous Ambitions, he's going to hit harder. As for the final boss, Jedi Master, I have Jedi Master Kenobi, so I use my standard Jedi Master Kenobi squad for that. Jedi Master Kenobi, Cat, General Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, and then also Anakin Skywalker. And as for the Hokey Religions, on this particular one, this is that same Bounty Hunter squad. But the most important thing on that, both the Jedi Master Kenobi and the Bounty Hunter squad, with Emperor Palpatine, you have to take care of him quickly, because with his ability to do stuns, the fight can get ugly really quickly. For my Bounty Hunter squad, I had to go and use a consumable to increase my tenacity. But with my Jedi Master Kenobi, I just made sure I targeted Emperor Palpatine right away, and then just worked my way around after that. It was pretty simple. So that's my take for Sector 5, and that's how I got through it. Hope this helps. So that wraps it up. I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions. Please put them in the comment section below. Thank you.